I'm going to change the rating of 90% of my books. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the first video that I'm filming in 2023. So I hope you all had a fantastic new year, and I hope that 2023 treats you so well. Today we are going to be talking about my 2023 reading goals, along with running through the star ratings of every book that I read in 2022, which was 81 books. This is not 81 books. Obviously, as you can tell, this is not 81 books. I read so many Kindle books this year, so I do not have a lot of them physical copy. So I will be popping them up on the screen here, but we do have a good many of them. I am not going to separate them by month. I read 81 books this year. If you would like to know more stats about what I read, I will leave my Spotify Bookish Wrapped link down below. I basically took and made a Spotify Wrapped for my reading of the year. I'm really proud of it. I really love it. So you can go watch the just little video that I made on my Instagram, and you can go watch me break down that video in that video here on YouTube. I did already film and post my top books of 2022. I picked 12 books, and that is a separate video that I did for Vlogmas, so that should already be up. I'll also link that down below. But I asked on Instagram, and the majority of you said that you wanted to also see me just break down really quickly every book that I read. So we're going to do that. First, we're going to go through my reading goals for 2023. I want to read more physical books. I read a lot on Kindle. I think Kindle is a great thing, but I love having a physical book. I will still continue to read on Kindle and still continue to listen to audiobooks, but I really want to read more of my physical books that I already own. Also, don't want to just buy a book just to buy a book. I love book shopping. I love looking for books, but when I first started this reading journey, I wanted to have these beautiful bookshelves that everyone else had. So I was just buying books to buy books. I wasn't buying them because I was interested in them. I was buying them because I could get them cheap. I literally was just buying books to buy books. So there's some books on these shelves that I really just need to part with, that I need to unhaul, which I will be doing very soon. I'm going to do a complete reorganization. I'm going to do an unhaul, and I'm going to do a tour of my bookshelves. So you can expect that end of this month, beginning of next. So I'm going to be filming it end of this month. My really good friend Emily is going to come up and help me, which I'm so excited about. I need to get her back on YouTube. So she has not posted in a while. So y'all go bug her. I will leave her link down below. Y'all go bug her about getting her back on YouTube. So I want to read more physical books. I want to buy less books just to buy books. I want to buy books that I'm interested in and that I love. Even if I do read them on Kindle and then I buy the physical book because I love that book, I'm fine with that. I just don't want to buy books to buy books. I also want to step out of my comfort zone. I read mostly romance, some fantasy, and I've read like one or two mystery thriller kind of books. And I want to do more stepping out of my comfort zone. I want to read more mystery thrillers. I want to read more just fiction. So that is a big goal of mine, is to choose some new genres. I definitely want to also keep reading a ton of indie authors. A ton of the books that I read are indie authors, and I love it so much. They're some of my favorite authors are indie authors, so I'd love to continue doing that. I found some incredible indie authors that I cannot wait to tell you about. This year, reading goal in general is to read 100 books this year. I read 81, like I said, in 2022. I'd love to read 100 in 2023. We will see how that goes. I'm not going to like force myself to read, which comes to another. I want to DNF more books. If I don't like it, I just need to DNF it. I don't need to force myself into it, because then that puts me in a reading slump, and then I don't read, and that will affect my year-end goal just because I tried to push through a book. I DNF'd 3 books this year, I think. I need to not read books just for the sake of finishing it. If I own it and I DNF it, I can just unhaul it or keep it because I think someone else might be interested in it. So those are kind of like a run through of some of the reading goals that I have right now. I'm sure they will probably change throughout the year. Maybe I will set some new reading goals at my halfway point when I do my top 6 books of the first half of the year video. But we're going to go ahead and jump in to all these books. This is January through March, I think, is in this stack. So we will go ahead and get started. First couple books I read were on Kindle. The first book that I picked up was Marriage for One. Y'all have heard me rave about this book. 5 stars. Absolutely love this. This is by Ella Mays. I'm obsessed with this book. Next, I read Snowflakes and Mistletoe at the Inglenook Inn by Helen J. Roth, and I gave this 3 stars. I listened to this on audiobook. It was just, I don't really remember much about it, so 3 stars. It was kind of throwaway for me. Then I listened to the first book in the Rush Duet by V. Keelan and Penelope Ward, Rebel Air, and I gave this 4 stars. I've not listened to the other book in this. I really need to do that because it leaves off on a cliffhanger. I recently saw this. If you saw my vlog that I posted today with Paige, I just saw this in the store with her, and I was like, I really need to read the rest of that. So I might pick that up very early in this year. That might be like the audiobook that I start in January. Then I picked up my first physical book of 2022, which was The Guest List. I rated this 3 stars. I did not really like it. I was kind of bored, which shouldn't happen in like a mystery book like this, in my opinion. I know a lot of people love it, but I did not. 3 stars. And then I read Guarded by Alexis Madison. I was sent this as an ARC, and I hated it. I rated it 2 stars, but it's like a police romance. It was a novella to try to set up something else she was going to be doing. I did not like this at all. Honestly, it's probably more of a 1 star than a 2 star. I also want to be harsher on my star ratings in 2023. I'm going to switch over to using mainly StoryGraph. I'm still going to post everything on Goodreads, but my more detailed reviews are going to be on StoryGraph because you can give half-star ratings and quarter-star ratings. So make sure to follow me on StoryGraph. I just think that it's all over a better platform, and it's not owned by Amazon. It's owned by a smaller company. I'm definitely going to switch over to that. So Guarded, 1 star. I did not like this. It kind of fantasized police brutality, which I was not a fan of at all. I almost DNF'd this, but I tried to finish it out so that I could rate it 1 star. I'm changing my rating on Goodreads. 1 star. I hated this. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. This was my first time reading a Harry Potter book. I know I'm late to the game, but I gave it 5 stars. Would I still give it 5 stars? I'm not real sure, but it was really good. It was really easy to read. It is like middle grade, so the wording is really easy. It's an easy world to know what's going on because the Harry Potter world is so huge. I gave it 5 stars. And then I read Change on the Fly by Maren Moore. This was the start of my love for Maren Moore. I loved this book. 5 stars. Absolutely. And then I read The Goal by Elle Kennedy. I said 5 stars, probably more like 4.5, but The Goal, 5 stars, 4.5 stars. Then I listened to Neon Gods by Katie Robert. I gave this 5 stars. I'd say it's probably more like 4.5 stars though. I'm going to change the rating of 90% of my books. So 4.5 stars, Neon Gods. I don't remember a ton about it, to be 100% honest. And then I read The Legacy by Elle Kennedy. This was the newer book that came out in 2022. It kind of wrapped up like a Where Are They Now for the Off-Campus series. I gave it 4 stars. I wasn't a fan of a good quarter of this book. And then I read Finding Cinderella. This is a novella that is in the hopeless kind of world. I've not finished that hopeless world, but I gave this 5 stars. I love Colleen Hoover. I probably should have given it more like 4 stars. Not a whole lot happens, but it was really cute. And then I read The Air by Sophie Lark. This started my love for Sophie Lark. I found so many good, like all of my favorite authors, all of my Audible authors, other than 2, I found this year. So The Air by Sophie Lark. I am obsessed with Sophie's writing. I'm obsessed with Leo. I'm obsessed with Anna. I love The Air. 5 stars. Love you. And then I listened to The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. I bought the physical copy because I really, really loved this book. I gave it 4 stars, probably more like 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed this. It's football, sports romance, closed door, loved it. And then I read The Fine Print. Y'all know how much I love The Fine Print. I'm obsessed with this book. 5 freaking stars for The Fine Print. Then I read Love and Bloom. This was my first Jenny Proctor book. Y'all know I love Jenny Proctor. I read 10 Jenny Proctor books this year. 3 of them were novellas, but I still read 10 Jenny Proctor books this year. This was the 4th book in the Some Kind of Love series, so I definitely did not do it in the way it needed to be done. But I received this as an ARC. I absolutely loved every second of it. I gave it 4.5 stars. I did not like the epilogue. And then I read Priest by Sierra Simone. I gave it 4.5 stars. I really loved this. It was definitely like a shock to the system. I'm reading Sinner right now. It is definitely a shock to the system too. If you are a super religious person, you're not gonna like these. 4.5 stars for Priest. I loved that book. And then I read Sweet by Adriana Locke. I honestly don't remember like anything about this book other than I think he owned a bar. But that might be Rebel Air. Maybe he owned a bar too. I know in Rebel Air he owns a bar. But I think he was. I gave it 4.5 stars. But I really don't remember much about this. So do with that what you will. And then I read Brutal Prince. This is the first book in the Brutal Birthright series. I am not done with it, the Brutal Birthright series yet. I really need to finish it up. I'm trying to let Paige catch up to me. I love Calamita. They're probably one of my favorite book couples ever. 5 stars. This is incredible. And then I read Sincerely the Puck Bunny, which is the 2nd book in the Totally Pucked series, To Go with Change in the Fly by Maren Moore. I didn't really like this. I gave this 3.5 stars, I would say. I didn't like Madison at all. I think she was extremely manipulative at times. I didn't like that at all. So, 3.5 stars for Sincerely the Puck Bunny. And then I read that Rebel. This is the 2nd book in the Kingmaker series. This is not the order you need to read these Sophie Lark books in. You need to read the entire Brutal Birthright series and then hop into the Kingmaker series, which is the Heir and the Rebel. The Kingmaker series is about the kids of the Brutal Birthright series. This is Callum and Ada's kids, so I decided I wanted to read it because I felt so attached to them at the time. This was so good. I honestly think I liked it more than the Heir. 5 stars. And then I read The Love Hypothesis. I didn't really like this a whole lot. I didn't hate it. The last like quarter of the book was really good, but all of it's just kind of annoying. So I gave it 3 stars. And then I read 2 Jenny Proctor novellas. I read The Dating Game and Hold Your Breath. I rated The Dating Game 4 stars and Hold Your Breath 5 stars. I honestly would probably rate them both 4.5 stars. It's hard to give a novella a 5 star, but I really loved both of these. I really wanted more from them. Which made me think that was, which means I was very invested in the story. Say 4.5 stars for both of these. And then I read The Baller by V. Keelan. I actually listened to this on audiobook, and I really loved this. It's sports romance. It's a football player and a reporter. Very cute, very good. That's all I really remember about it, but I rated it 5 stars. Do you see what I mean by I need to be stricter on my star ratings, because I gave some books 5 stars that I don't remember anything about. Alright, next stack. In the Weeds by B.K. Borson. I loved Love Like Farms. I loved In the Weeds. I haven't read Mixed Signals yet, but I really need to. I love this. I'm not going to tell you anything about it because it might spoil, like you get a little hint of it in Love Like Farms, so read Love Like Farms first. But I rated this 5 stars. I'm obsessed. And then I read Addicted to You. This is the first book in the Addicted series / the Addicted / Calloway Sisters series. I rated this 4 stars. It was very slow and it was very repetitive in my opinion. I know that people say that it and Ricochet are kind of slower and then it really starts picking up after that. I was interested. It definitely grabbed my attention enough to want to read the rest of the series. I just think some of it was very repetitive. I think it could probably be like a quarter shorter than it actually is. And then I finally finished A Court of Thorns and Roses. It took me forever to finish this book, probably like 2 months. Granted, 2 of those weeks in those 2 months, I had no idea where mine was. This is the first book in the ACOTAR series. I know a lot of people start this and they start it and they're like, this is so slow. I don't know what the hype is about. Just get through it. 4 stars, but the last like 100 pages of this book is insane. It's insane, and you will be like wanting to devour the next book immediately. I didn't do it immediately, but I did do it, and I devoured it so fast it's ridiculous, just so you know. So ACOTAR, I am not obsessed with this book, but so far obsessed with this series. And then I read the Scorecard, which is the third book in the Totally Pucked series, but this is first book in a duet within this series. This got 4.5 stars. I really loved this. It definitely needed that duet. There's so much to this story and so much going on in this couple's lives, so definitely really loved that. And then I read Stolen Air. This is my least favorite Sophie Lark book that I've read so far. I still rated it 4.5 stars, so do with that what you will, because Sophie Lark writes incredible books. There's just like a lull in the middle of this book that like where nothing really happens, and I was kind of like, let's get some stuff going. And then like 50 pages later we got stuff going, so there was just like a small part of this one where I was just a little bored, but I rated it 4.5 stars. Love and Other Words, one of my favorite books that I've ever read, one that I will recommend over and over and over again. 5 stars. I just am so obsessed with this book. Then we have How to Kiss Your Best Friend. This is the first book in the Hawthorne Brothers series. It is a spin-off of the Some Kind of Love series, which Love and Bloom is, and I will tell you about the rest of the Some Kind of Love series in just a second. But this is the first in the Hawthorne Brothers series. This is so cute. Jenny Proctor writes closed door romance. Absolutely love it. 5 stars. My favorite Jenny Proctor book I have ever read. Then I read Heartstopper Volume 1. This is a graphic novel. Loved it. So cute. Why, like literally it made me fall in love with graphic novels. I'm really excited to read more graphic novels in 2023. I gave it 4 stars. And then I read the rest of the Some Kind of Love series. So the first 3 books in the Some Kind of Love series, because I had already read Love and Bloom. I read Love Redesigned, Love Unexpected, and Love Off Limits. These are all very cute. They're all interconnected standalones along with Love and Bloom. And the big one that connects to the Hawthorne Brothers series is Love Off Limits. I rated Love Redesigned and Love Unexpected 5 stars, and Love Off Limits 4.5 stars. Then I read the 4th book in the Totally Pucked series, the 2nd in the Scoring Twin duet, and that is The Final Score. I really loved this. I think it wrapped up this story very well. I gave it 4.25 stars. Still loved it very much. And then I read The Renter by Serena Pierre. I need to read the new book that she has out. This was just a cute little age gap novella at like a summer house. It was a really good read for the summer. I'm really interested in more of this story though, so I'm interested in reading more of this. Really liked it. 4 stars. And then I read the Summer I Turned Pretty series. So we have The Summer I Turned Pretty, 4 stars. It's Not Summer Without You, which was my favorite, 4.5 stars. And We'll Always Have Summer, also 4.5 stars. I loved this series so much. I read it because the TV show was coming out. The TV show is so good. If you've not watched the TV show, go watch it. But I loved these so much. So glad I read them. I will say, I said 4.5 stars. This was more like 4 stars. This was my least favorite one. I feel like the characters changed a lot in this, so I wasn't crazy about that. It was like we kind of threw out the morals that the characters had just to try to get to an end story. So I wasn't crazy about that, so this one got 4 stars. And then I read Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. This is really one of the I only read a couple Colleen Hoover books this year, but this one like wrecked me to my core. It is so good. It's YA. It like the twists and turns in this book are insane. I did not see them coming, but 5 stars, absolutely. And then I read the After graphic novel. This is what started the reason that I read the entire After series. I saw it one day on like on Instagram or something, and I was like, I'm gonna go grab that. I feel like if I grab this and I read this, I'd already read Heartstopper. I wanted to read another graphic novel. Decided to grab this. I was like, if I like the graphic novel, then maybe I'll jump into the series. I liked the graphic novel, obviously, because I jumped right into the series. I rated this 4 stars. I loved it so much. I really want to just like go back through it and read it again. This is only like half of the first book, so we're supposed to be getting another one in October of this year. That's a very long time away, so I'm hoping that it's like at least the rest of this one, and I don't know. I really want the rest of it. I want all of the books in a graphic novel. And then I read Savage Lover, which is the 3rd book in the Brutal Birthright series. I gave this 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. Nero is... love it. And then I decided to have a little Christmas in July and read Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. This was a cute little novella. I think I gave it 4 stars. I just kind of like wanted more from it. I know it was a novella, but I still feel like some things kind of dragged and I wanted to see more of like their relationship. It's been a while since I've read it, so I can't remember exactly, but I felt like that's how I felt about it. And then I read the first after book. I gave this 5 stars because it literally like sucked me in. I have never in my life been so obsessed with a series of books or anything. Like, I could not put this down. Like, the tabs are unreal. I devoured this book. 5 stars. I know a lot of people don't like this, but I'm so obsessed. It is very toxic, so look up trigger warnings. Look up trigger warnings for every book that I talk about, please. Like, heart bones, trigger warnings. Love and Other Words, trigger warnings. All of them, trigger warnings. But this one, trigger warnings too. I'm just so obsessed. Y'all already know how obsessed I am with the After series. After I finish the entire After series, because I have Before, Nothing More, Nothing Less left to finish, would y'all want to see an entire video dedicated to this series? Please let me know. Heartstopper Volume 2 and Volume 3 and Volume 4. I read them all. I loved them. They were all so good. I gave this one a 4.25 stars. I gave this one a 4 stars. This one kind of irritated me just a little bit, and this one also a 4.25 stars. But I love this series so much. I can't wait for the new one. And then I read Flopper by Colleen Charles. I got this as an ARC. I rated it 4 stars, and I remember like maybe 50% of it. It's a hockey romance. Kind of some messed up stuff happens in both of these characters' lives. Oh no. So that's all I really remember about it. Like, if you want my like deep thoughts on this, go watch my wrap-ups. If you want deep thoughts on any of these, I post monthly wrap-ups. You can go back and watch any specific one that you would like to find out my like deep thoughts about these. Then I read Ricochet, definitely trending upward in the Addicted series. I give this 4.25 stars. I said 5 stars, maybe 4.5. Definitely trending upward. The last like quarter of this book had me like, and I'm definitely very, very excited for one of the other couples that are going to be in the Calloway Sisters series. I think they're going to be my favorite couple out of all of them. I'm very excited to read Addicted for now because it's going to have Lo's point of view, and I love Lo. Then I read Flawless. I'm obsessed with this. I love it. 5 stars. Then I read Eloise and the Grump Next Door. This is by Emma St. Clair and Jenny Proctor. I liked this. It wasn't my favorite. It was really cute. I gave it 4.25 stars, I think. Definitely a really cute book, but that's what it was, just kind of a cutesy book. Then I read After We Collided. This is the second book in the After series, and I, if you cannot tell, was obsessed. 5 stars. Then I read all 3 of the books in the Midnight in Dallas series by Melissa Grace. I read Home Is Where You Are, Home Again, and Long Way Home. I loved all of them. I gave Home Is Where You Are 5 stars, Home Again 4.5 stars, and Long Way Home 5 stars. Then I read The Penalty Shot by Maren Moore. This is the 5th book in the Totally Pucked series. This is the most recent book in the Totally Pucked series until we get Hudson's book, hopefully next month. I'm very excited about that. Like, y'all don't even know. This one I gave 5 stars. This is my second favorite, very close second favorite to Change on the Fly. Change on the Fly is my favorite. This is a very close second favorite, 5 stars. And then I read After We Fell and After Ever Happy. I like booked it through these books because I had to finish this book before I went and watched the movie. You can't tell, but I did annotate the crap out of this book. You just can't tell because I didn't have it. I am obsessed. They both got 5 stars. This is a 5-star series, a 5-star read. I loved it so much. I was so addicted to these books. Then I read Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. You already know I love this book so much. I get so emotional talking about this book, thinking about this book. Like, literally, it makes me want to cry every time I pick up this book and just look at it. I want to cry. This book is so emotional, so incredible. 5 stars, one of my favorite books I've ever read. Then I read the first book in the Kane Brothers series, which is A Not So Meet Cute by Megan Quinn. I'm obsessed with this series. I literally cannot wait for the new book. It comes out in just a couple days. I'm obsessed. This is Billionaire Romance. It got 5 stars. I love it so much. Then I read Terms and Conditions by Miss Lauren Asher. This is the second book in the Dreamland Billionaire series after the fine print. I loved this so much. It's Marriage of Convenience, which is one of my favorite tropes. I gave it 5 stars. I didn't like it as much as the fine print, but I still loved it so much. So 5 stars. Then I read So Not Meant to Be, which is the second book in the Kane Brothers series. I said 5 stars, probably more like 4.5 stars. I didn't like it as much, and the main girl could kind of be just a tad bit annoying. And then we get to when the ACOTAR series gets good. A Court of Mist and Fury. This is the second book in the ACOTAR series. I read this book in 2 days. It is a ginormous book, and I read it in 2 days. I'm obsessed. 5 stars. Like, don't want this part of this world to end, so I'm only like 200 pages into the next book and have been for like 4 months. But A Court of Mist and Fury, 5 stars. We're getting toward the end. I only have a couple physical books left. I did read a lot of Kindle Unlimited kind of books in the like last quarter of the year. So we have The Blind Side by Candy Steiner. I loved this. It was really, really cute. Sports romance, 4.25 stars. And then I read The Wrong Game by Candy Steiner. I loved this so much, 4.5 stars. My Goodreads says 5. Y'all just ignore my Goodreads. It's kind of annoying that I can't rate half stars on here. So then I get confused because I feel really bad by if it's like a 4.5 or 4.75 star read. I feel bad putting 4 stars because like it's not a 4-star book. So I usually put 5 stars and then I forget to go put in like an actual rating. So then I forget. So let's say The Wrong Game gets 4.5 stars. Sounds good to me. Icebreaker, obsessed with this, by Hannah Grace, 5 stars. One of the best communicating couples I have ever seen in my entire life. Love this. If you hate the miscommunication trope, read this book. Then I read There Are No Saints and There Is No Devil by Sophie Lark. I loved these. These are very dark romance, very dark. They both got 5 stars. I loved them both. I love Sophie Lark. This woman can do no wrong in my eyes. Like I said, very dark. Look up trigger warnings. Then I read Crave. I am so obsessed with this. I don't know how I haven't continued this series yet. I've just been so busy, and I know that like once I start the next book, I'm going to want to just sit down and read nothing but it. But Crave by Tracy Wolff, I was obsessed with this as the After series. It like sucked me in. I was so obsessed. So 5 stars for Crave by Miss Tracy Wolff. Then I read Heartless. This is the second book in the Chestnut Spring series after Flawless. I gave this 4.75 stars. I loved this so much. Cade is mwah, but I still like Heartless just a little bit more. Then I read It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. This is the Beautiful Waterstones edition. I'm so obsessed with it. I loved this. I know a lot of people were very disappointed in it. I really loved it. It was kind of slow. It does repeat a lot of It Ends With Us. I feel like it gave us exactly what a lot of us wanted, which was just Atlas. We got a lot of Atlas, which is all we wanted. We just wanted a bunch more Atlas. I gave it 5 stars. I probably would give it more like 4.5 stars. I wish that it was a little bit different. I did a whole reading vlog on this, which you can go watch. I will leave it linked down below. Then I read Wheeler, which is the second book in the Vegas Venom series, which after Flopper was the first one. I rated it 4 stars, but it's probably more like 3.5 stars. It took me a while to get into this one, and I was just not about it. For like the first probably third of the book, I was not about it. I listened to Follow by Tessa Bailey. This audiobook I started in April, and I finished it in October. If that tells you anything. 3 stars. Not my favorite. How to Kiss Your Grumpy Boss, the second in the Hawthorne Brothers series. I gave it 5 stars, probably more like 4.75 stars. I didn't like this as much as How to Kiss Your Best Friend, but still very good. Really, really enjoyed it. Then I read The Mistletoe Vet by Maren Moore. This was a cute little holiday romance. It's like Hallmark meets Spice, and I was here for it. Dr. Parker Grant is... go read this. Even though it's after Christmas, go read this book. So cute. So good. 5 stars. My favorite like holiday novella. I would recommend this to anyone. I've been recommending this to everyone. I loved it so much I bought a physical copy. It's signed. I love it. Then the last physical book I read in 2022 was Nick and Noelle's Christmas Playlist. I liked this. It was cute. I feel like it took a while to get like started good. I gave it 4 stars. Resting Scrooge Face by Megan Quinn. I gave it 4.5 stars. This was a really cute Christmas novella. Not So Long for Christmas. Also a really cute Christmas novella by Jenny Proctor. 4.5 stars. And then the last book that I read in 2022 was Tangled in Tinsel by Charlena. I don't know how to pronounce your last name Charlena, so I'm sorry. I don't want to mess it up. I'm so obsessed. I did a reading vlog on this. 5 stars. This book is spicy. It's first harem, so just be aware that that is what you're walking into. Go watch my reading vlog if you want to know more about that book. 5 stars. What a great way to end the year. So that was every book that I read in 2022. I can't wait for reading in 2023. I'm very proud of myself of how much I read in 2022. If you see some of the books that I didn't physically have pop up on my shelves, mind your business, because there's a lot I want to buy. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you are not already, make sure to subscribe down below so you do not miss when I post a video. If you are not already, follow me on StoryGraph, Goodreads, and Instagram. All of my socials are always linked down below. I cannot wait for videos in 2023. I can't wait for reading in 2023. If you have any videos that you are wanting me to make in 2023, make sure to leave a comment down below with some of those. I'm very much looking forward to it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.